Okay, it's 6:45 and I will call the new Parks and Recreation Committee to order. It consists of myself as the chair, Steve Harvey and Zach Sutton. The first item on the agenda is to discuss the Tennessee Healthy Built Environmental Grant to fund Parks and Recreation Master Plan. And I guess I'll turn that over to Scott McCord if he's on.
Yes, thank you very much. And welcome, Zach. I look forward to working with you.
Thank you, Scott.
And also Rachel.
Thank you.
Back in the summer, TDEC, Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation, sent out notification that moving forward with the LPRF and RTP grants, that it would be a requirement to have a master plan set up for the departments or entities that applied for those grants, and it would be mandatory. Shortly after, Allison Fox with Upper Cumberland reached out to us and said that the Healthy Built Environment grant from the Health Department state had a grant, and it would probably help fund a master plan, and it was up to $50,000. So we could get $50,000 to the max. There was a process when we looked into this grant, questionnaires. Katie and Kyle called and sat in on several conference calls, Zoom meetings, and then we had a question and answer where we sent in our kind of asked different things about what we could put in for, and we met with Katie because of her experience, and possibly she might want to put in for grants, and it was decided that the master plan for the department was probably the best direction to go. The next stage was almost like an application for an application. We had to put in, and they approved us to move forward with an application, which we received 1st of December, which was too late for that first meeting. So that's where we stand here. So we want to request to apply for this grant, which is no matching funds. We pay it out and they reimburse us 100%. Master plan for the department would be great for the city. It's more than just structures. It's more of getting input from the citizens through face-to-face meetings, questionnaires, surveys, even using Katie Camise's new toolbox that she put together to reach out and get public information. Things we need to do with the master plan is to come up with a blueprint for our mission statements, our vision, identify our values and our goals, come up with just different steps of doing things. I'm being very brief. Identifying and strategic programming, employees, what is good for our employees, our communication with the citizens, maintenance, all different steps down to the bare bones, which I think would be a great blueprint for this department in this city, and know what our next steps will be.
Would that include a swimming pool in that master plan?
If that's the input we get from the citizens, that'll be a direction that we try to go toward.
Okay.
Scott, how much will this grant divert staff from their regular duties?
Anytime you have something like this, we will have to facilitate for it. We will have meetings. We will have people that will have to write up probably step-by-step, year-by-year evaluation, mostly just putting in for the grant, going to meetings and being facilitators for the information, but hopefully we want to hire a company that does all the work. We just facilitate for it.
So the burden of implementation, deadlines, timelines will be put mostly on this contract company.
Yes.
Scott, there was another grant back in 2018 for the bicycle fund, and I think it was through the same Tennessee Healthy Built Environments grant. Can you speak to whether that was implemented and reimbursed?
I am not the expert on that. Is Katie on the line?
Yes, I'm here. Would you like me to speak to that, Scott?
Yes.
In 2018, Warren County received this grant. We received a $20,000 grant, and how we used it, we partnered with, I say we because it was with Bike McMinnville and Main Street McMinnville, partnered with the county. And the whole goal of the grant was to get some equipment and infrastructure in place that would help to support a culture of bicycle riding in our community, support that as a form of recreation as well as transportation. It paid for 12 bike racks, 4 repair stations, which we placed with the help of our citizens for locations. Public Works installed them, and Parks and Rec helped site them on when they were on public property. It also paid for helmets and safety lights. However, we haven't had an opportunity to hand those out because of COVID. We were going to have a big bike rodeo and invite a ton of kids and then hand them out and give them different bike materials. And we just haven't had a chance to do that because of the pandemic. So that's a hope for the spring. But we also, the final expense is to have a graphic designer cartographer build a really awesome bike map that's still under construction. But we will be sharing once it's complete. And it's a bike map of routes in the city, infrastructure that's in the city, as well as in the county.
If I'd like to add to it, working with Katie's been wonderful. One of the things with community development in this master plan is hopefully to identify underfunded or underused areas in the city or demographics, which neighborhoods aren't have the distance and effort to be able to get to different parks and places, and see if there is anything that we could reach them.
That sounds wonderful to me. It's always nice to have some free money. Does anybody else have any more questions or comments?
I think one aspect about having a master plan is one of the big things when I've written grants before, they always want to know about sustainability and also strategic thinking. And I think this master plan, I would imagine, would open us up for larger grants that are much more substantial and much have a bigger impact, Rachel, like you're saying, bringing money into the city. So I think I think this is a worthy grant to be applying for.
Now the TDEC grants, LPRF, RTP, those are grants that have funded things here before. Greenway, we had the $500,000 grant. So that's a lot of money to have access to.
On that note, do we need a proposal for a motion, Rachel?
Is there a motion relative to this item?
I'd like to motion that we apply for the Healthy Built Environments grant to fund the creation of the Parks and Recreation Master Plan.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I second it.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor? Wait, is there any further discussion on the matter? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. The motion carries. Is there anything else that anyone would like to discuss in the Parks and Recs committee meeting?
Rachel, I've got a question.
Okay.
I'm not on your committee, but maybe it's more for Scott. Scott, I saw in the paper a couple of papers ago that there was a band that was going to be playing, I think, the 15th or 19th of January. Is that still going on?
Everything in January has been canceled or rescheduled.
Okay, but there was an ad in the paper. Maybe it was just a matter of it couldn't pull it out in time or something.
No, everything since December, 1st of December, we have tried to reschedule or move that would be a large event.
Yeah, because with the governor's thing on 10 people or less, that would put a crimp in that.
Oh, yeah. I think Nolan could answer the question that me and him both get emails from Kevin where he sent out requests to reschedule.
Okay, I just happened to see it in the paper, so it must have been a mistake that was in the paper or something. Not a problem.
Yes, and that's a good point, Everett. Is there anything else that anyone has? Hearing none, this committee is adjourned.